guys, sometimes I get the question, hey, do you ever incorporate decoration into Feng Shui? And generally the answer to that will be no. And in terms of like placing out items and thinking about Feng Shui, like placing items or hanging crystals and things like that. I do not do that sort of Feng Shui. The Feng Shui I do more depends on the way you use your space, not really what you put in it. But with that being said, there is some exceptions to the rules. And I wanted to show you how I used Feng Shui to correct some problems in my daughter's room.
Microphone check, 1, 2, 1, 2. Mic check, 1, 2, 1, 2.
So when you do Feng Shui, one of the biggest factors is something known as forms. So, oh, the light, let there be light. There is a concept known as Feng Shui forms. And if you practice classical Feng Shui, you will hear that forms always supersede formula. So there's different formulas like, the flying stars, and you might see the low pan with all the crazy rings on it. And, you can look at where water is in relation to your space, where a mountain is in relation to your space, and whether or not you're receiving chi and all this stuff. And that is important, but internal forms are just as important. And so when I was doing my daughter's room the other day, she's actually been having a lot of issues. She's been having health issues. And the last couple years, she's really been having a lot of eye issues and headaches and stuff like that. And her room is such that it's really, really hard to get a good bed position. Bed position is really important for a restful night. And so the forms in her room, which was the way your space is laid out and, where you're at, where your bed is at, where your stove is at, stuff like that. But in the bedroom is where your bed is at. And so your bed position is your bed form, and where it is in relation to the door. And I changed her room, but is not able to get an ideal bed position. So I'm going to show you what I did. You ready? Here is her door, and if you notice, one of the biggest things in Feng Shui is that you don't really want a door opening to another door. Hey, Jinxie! You don't want a door opening to another door. And so right off the bat, this kind of shows me that the chi is not super ideal for her room. That's actually my office right in there. And my desk is in the best position possible. But when you have doors facing other doors, it means that the chi, it's the energy is not coming in your room correctly. It just goes straight through. And so for this reason, I just keep this door closed. So you can do things where if I'm not in that room, I keep the door closed. And if I'm in my office, usually I'll just shut her door here. So the energy or the chi that's coming in the hallway kind of, is able to circulate and go into my office or go into her room. So one of the things that's really hard, which she's an 11-year-old girl's room, we've been decluttering. And if you'll notice when you come in the room, so her room's not all the way decluttered, we're working on one area at a time. But when you come in the room, you don't want your bed directly in front of the door, directly facing the door. And so for us, this was the ideal bed position. And so the bed position is super important. But in order to declutter her room a little bit, this whole wall was just filled with the shelves. It was filled with books. It was filled with all kinds of stuff. So, and then her lovely cosplay wig. So, one of the things that we did, her bed's in the best position, but we moved this shelf. And another factor you want to look at when you are, placing out shelves, especially by your bed, is this right here. This is actually called a poison arrow. You see how this just points, and it could actually cause health problems or unrestful night's sleep. But in order to correct that, here's where I use the Decor. Are you guys ready? I put this lovely cotton gauze thing. It's not restricting the flow of chi to her bed, which sometimes it can. Sometimes people have a net all around their bed, and that restricts the chi flow around your bed at night. So you don't want to do that either. But I just place this little curtain here, and it stops. It kind of blocks that corner there from facing her directly while she's sleeping. And honestly, I thought maybe softening up around her head while she sleeps would help with her headaches and her eyesight. We did this 4 days ago, and I keep asking her, how are you sleeping? How are you sleeping? And she's like, I'm sleeping so good. She's sleeping great. And so that's one way to measure or not whether or not the forms in your room were actually correct, is to gauge how you're sleeping, gauge how your family's sleeping, and if they're sleeping good, that means everything's actually pretty good. So I'm hoping it helps with her headaches. She hasn't complained about headaches again since moving and placing out that net around her bed, and so I'm hoping this corrects the problem. So you actually can use decoration and decor to kind of fix your problem, but remember, forms always supersede formula, and in order to correct problems, you can kind of block them with stuff. So in this case, I used, that gauze, that real flowy fabric around her bed to correct the corner that would be facing her. So you never want to hang up bookshelves above the bed. You don't want to have stuff directly over your head while you sleep, or even right next to your head. So it kind of impedes the chi flow while you sleep. So you don't want to do that. But so this is one case you actually can use decor, and you can also do things like use a folding screen and stuff like that, something that actually blocks that flow. So this is one of the cases that you can actually use home decor to correct the feng shui of a room. Hey guys, be sure to like, share, subscribe, and hit the little alert icon so you can be notified every time I rearrange my furniture.